Thanks, everybody who's just joined in. Well, before we kick off things, I think what would be nice is try and understand a little bit more about what you guys do, what you guys are looking for. So I see Denise has finally managed to connect the audio, which is good. So if you would like to maybe give a little bit of an insight into what do you do, whether you are a property investor, whereabouts like you operate and what kind of things you look for, or if you run a property sourcing business or an estate or letting agency business, or even a larger enterprise, that would be nice for me to understand so I can accordingly tailor the session to help out in terms of based on the audience. So because we've got a small group, it would allow us to tailor the session to your needs. So Denise, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I'm at the very start of my property journey, so I don't have any properties yet, but I've been doing a lot of Simon's training, so I'm learning how to put together, like a financial deal plan and things like that, and how to sort of find investors and things. So I'm
Okay,
still at that stage, but I've got some pin meetings lined up that I'm going to, and some more coaching with Simon, so hopefully that'll get me going.
sure. Good luck with that. And so I'm assuming that Simon's just here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice one. Thanks for letting me know. And in terms of like the kind of deals, or have you got anything in mind in terms of are you looking for what buy to lets or flips, or what sort of things
Yeah.
are you looking at?
So in the next 12 months, I'd like to get a lease option property to live in myself. And then I want to get a BRRR as well, just to get some cash flow going and then hopefully be able to get some capital out of that as well to carry on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I've got yeah. So there, I will be covering a couple of things which should be focusing on how you can actually make this easy for you. I was actually talking to one of our clients, Jeremy. I don't know if he's going to join in today, but he saw the last webinar video and then he got in touch with us. And since then, we've kind of helped them shape up their business and almost from the very scratch. And I'll showcase some of their content as well, like what we've done for them. So they started from zero with us, and then now they pretty much look like a professional enterprise and they're ready to go. So I'll share a few other case studies as well. Is there anyone else who would like to go off mute? I know people might be coming from work, etc., but it would be nice, even if you can't actually go off mute, then maybe just worth putting it in the chat, what you guys do and what you can basically cover. So we just seems to have lost Zat, who is driving. That's all right. Cool. I think what I would do is I'll maybe just give a bit of an intro myself. And Shah, if you can go off mute, then feel free to do that. I mean, when the group gets bigger, then we generally say questions to the end. But if it's a smaller group, then it's always like I actually quite prefer when I can talk to people, help them out more personally than being in a large group when I'm just chatting on my own rather than having anybody else who I can kind of help and contribute to. So that's fine. Okay, so I am Nitin Aggarwal. I'm your host today. So I founded Property Deals Insight back in 2019. So we are a COVID baby. I used to be a property investor. So I've been doing property investing since 15, 16 years now. So I've been getting involved in all sorts of property deals, whether it's typical buy to let. Starting my journey as most people do with being an accidental landlord. And then kind of from there on, I've just been doing loads of things. I did a lot of flips, BRRs, below market value deals, HMOs, rent to rent, and commercial, etc., etc. So then decided to kind of come up with a platform because I was always struggling to find deals because ultimately you need to identify deals. How do you source them? How can I make it easier for myself? That was the original intention. And then basically how do I analyze something which is presented to me? How do I know it's a good value or below market value or not? So that is something which we've really been focusing on. Um, yeah, so I think back in then we started it as a small project for a few of my mates and everything. But now, if I look fast forward 5.5 years or so, whenever we've been going, we have over 7,000 users. We are now supporting almost 1,000 plus estate agencies who kind of rely on our data and prospecting services and reports, ultimately helping them find deals. Because a lot of times people think they need to go to the estate agents to find deals, but ultimately the agents also need to find their vendors from somewhere. So we also kind of help in that aspect. And yeah, I think what we will try and go through today is basically some of the key tools which help finding deals. I'm assuming that would be a topic of interest, which generally is for people to look at finding what deals are available in the market. And how you can actually tell it's a good deal or not, and ultimately whether anybody is interested in finding off-market opportunities, which is always a buzzword. Everybody's looking for off-market deals. And then if you're looking at below market value stock, or direct to vendor stock, which is also quite an interesting one. And if you want to really scale up your operations and you want to build your portfolio quickly, that is what the pros have been doing. And I think that is something which we can definitely cover. Hi, Teresa, you've just joined us. So we were just getting started. If you are able to go off mute, would you like to just share what you do and what you're looking for from this session so we can accordingly tailor that?
Yes, of course. So I apologise for the cartoons in the background. I've got my little girl with me. So I actually started my property journey 2 years ago. I went through a training program and acquired 14 buy-to-lets. And
Nice.
I've just decided that we are going to move up a strategy. My daughter came along and planned, and my partner and I have decided that we're going to move into the HMO system. So I was
Nice.
introduced to the Property Deals Insight through one of the training sessions anyway. I've already signed
Nice.
up, but I just haven't really used it yet because I don't quite know how to use it properly.
Okay, that's well. I think the first of all, congratulations on acquiring 14 properties. I guess we were just chatting to Denise, who was talking about her being on a training course, and I think maybe she would love to be having 14 properties by the end of a training course, which would be nice. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
happy to share like how you guys can utilize the PDI or Property Deals Insight essentially, which features you can do because we get customers from all segments. Like we have people who
Mhm.
are real beginners, people who are doing property or investment in bulk, or even sourcing companies. So we support a lot of property sourcing companies. And sometimes we have people sitting on the fence where they are buying for themselves, but then if they get extra, then they don't mind getting a few grand as a sourcing fee, which they can pass the deals they find through our platform onto others.
Yeah, of course, that's
Why
understandable.
not? It pays for itself, really. So yeah, I think we're going to cover that. And then if you want to look at some of the advanced features, then I think one of the recent themes in the whole world has been crying about AI. So we will also be talking about how we can automate some of these things, so you don't have to worry about figuring out how I did this last time when we were in the demo kind of thing. So we'll maybe if we have a small group, then we can possibly spend a bit more time making sure you guys can set it up on your side. That allows for that kind of works as a benefit really. I mean, the larger group we just struggle to kind of have to accommodate everybody, but it would be a nice one for in the short group where we can actually make sure you understand and utilize the platform in the right way.
No, that's absolutely great, Nitin. Really appreciate that. I think, like for me especially, I was completely new to my own investments, but I was managing properties on behalf of clients for over 20 years.
Oh, nice,
And
nice.
eventually the penny just dropped. I was literally making money for other people. And then, as I said, my daughter came along, so the priorities changed. And I thought, I don't really want to be in the office 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to have any maternity leave when my daughter was born. So
Okay.
I literally just went heads on. So my initial purchases was through auction houses. So I've learned a lot through making a lot of mistakes.
Well, I think the good thing is that you're now at a place where you can actually just kick on. So you've done the hard graft, and now let's. I mean, I think what would be nice is in this kind of combination. I actually quite like. So obviously, I speak to a lot of clients where some of them are early in the journey, others who are professional. They're now
Mhm.
moving into this space, and for them, it's actually quite easy because they understand all the tricks in the book. But then what we do is we give them the tools to actually automate some of those things,
Yes.
which kind of is a great combination. But I mean, obviously, for anybody else who's not yet there, they can easily pick it up as well. So it's a
Yeah.
kind of a win-win for both parties.
Yeah. And I think one of the things I liked was the tools.
Yeah, absolutely. We would do that.
Yeah. No,
What
thank
I'm
you.
going to do is I'm going to quickly share my screen. I know we've had a couple of other people join in, Moin, and if you want to quickly share about what you do, then that would be a great opportunity now. Otherwise, you can put it in the chat as well, and then we can try and cover some of the things which you'd like to see in the session. I just wanted to tailor it according to the audience today because we've got a small group, so that would allow us to tailor the session a little bit better. Hi, Patricia. Thanks for joining. Okay, I think I see Moin has just gone off mute. Moin, do you want to share that quickly? We can't hear you. Okay, while we wait for Moin, Patricia, do you want to quickly say hello to the group and share a little bit about what you do?
Oh, hello there. I'm still working full time at the minute, but I've just got my compliance sorted out, and I'm looking to expand more into property sourcing and I've got a couple of buy-to-lets already, and I'm wanting to find stuff for myself and find stuff for other people.
Okay, nice one. Thanks. I think we're going to cover. So yeah, Patricia has been in and out, I think, of Property Deals Insight. Recently started her subscription, and we've been trying to get her to start using the feature. So it would be nice for her to actually go through some of this as well. So yeah, we'll get some of the main features covered. And I think one last intro before we get cracking. Moin, go for it. Looks like we don't have audio. So anyways, please use the chat, and then I'll get cracking, and hopefully towards the end you'll get a chance to ask your questions. All right. I hope I am sharing the correct screen. Thanks everyone for joining. Once again, I'm Nitin Aggarwal. I'm the founder and CEO of Property Deals Insight. We are a one-stop shop for property professionals, whether you are a newbie into property or a seasoned property investor, property sourcing company, estate or letting agency, or even corporate like asset managers, etc. So we kind of work with everybody. But today's session, we're going to mainly focus on how small to medium sort of sized businesses can utilize the platform. However, if you have a sophisticated venture on your side and you want to look at some of the more advanced features, please feel free to ping me. I'll try and cover some of that, but we can also have a follow-up chat if required. However, today's session is focusing on how you can use the platform for automating your property investment journey and making sure you can make some money. Okay, what we'll have on the home screen is our website homepage. There has been occasions in this session where people have ended up on here because somebody's forwarded them a WhatsApp message, but not knowing which company we are. They just turn up sometimes. Hopefully that's not the case here. But anyways, so that's the homepage I've just given you guys. If you're not already a member, it's free to join. So just go onto the page, click this link, and then you should be able to follow what we are covering. And you can also set up your AI-powered alerts, which can be used for both deal sourcing or deal finding for yourself. So that's something which you can. Sorry, I think Moin just messaged me. I was just looking at that. So hopefully you can sort your audio. There are a number of features. What I will do is I'll try and highlight some of the key ones. If there is anything which you guys hear and I say, actually, I'd like to know more about it, feel free to put it in the chat. I will try and cover it. I'll try and follow a certain flow. However, if possible, I will try and take the questions as and when. But feel free to please put them in the chat. And anybody who hasn't actually shared what they do or what they would like to cover in the session, please feel free to put that in the chat. In fact, I'd like all of you guys to say, if there was these two things or one thing I would like to take away from this session, this is what that would be. Whether that's finding off-market opportunities or it's direct-to-vendor deals, or how can I use automation. I think Patricia, you kind of trying to balance work and side hustles. So if we can actually help you with automation, so you don't have to be spending all this time, then maybe that's something we should also try and cover. And that's also the part of the sessions what we are looking to cover today. So please use the chat to add anything which you'd like to be covering, because there's quite a lot for us to cover. Unfortunately, or fortunately for you guys, PDI is one of the most powerful platforms in the country, which can sometimes be confusing for clients. So sometimes we're actually we fall victim of our own success. Okay, so what we do is the easiest one is Deal Finder. It helps you find deals, saves money and time. We will be spending some time on this. And then you can also do valuations, because a lot of other people are always looking at, okay, I found a deal. How do I know it's a good deal or not? So this is the place for you to be within appraisal reports. We will show that on screen, and how you can actually create branded packs for your clients, whether it's for negotiating, whether it's to come across professional, whether you're acting on a client's behalf, or it's for your own bank, or even fighting with the surveyors and actually trying to negotiate better with your buyers or sellers, really, whichever boat you are sitting on. So this is really, really powerful feature. It's used by estate agents, surveying companies, and larger prop tech other businesses. So we power them as well with our report. So this is quite a powerful feature. And I'm going to skip this bit. This is more for our institutional clients, lenders, brokers, etc. If anybody is a broker or runs a large financial institution, etc., then feel free to ping me, and we can actually show how this can actually really work for you and increase your revenue. But the other part which we really want to cover is off-market opportunities, which seems to be the buzzword. And the more trainings you go to, everybody just keeps talking about off-market, below market value, and direct to vendor, and all of that sort of stuff. So we'll try and cover how you can actually use the platform for. Okay. All right. This is kind of going to be the core parts of the thing, and then what I'm going to do is jump quickly into the platform. This is I'm just logged in, but if you were to create an account, you can simply just create an account here. I will let you guys sign up if you're not already signed in. If you are signed in, it might be a good idea to actually try and follow what we're doing side by side. I might not be able to stop, but hopefully it will allow you to set up some AI deal alerts for you. So people who've signed up, like Patricia, Teresa, so you guys can actually create some of these alerts as we would be talking through. So that might be a nice way for you to get started. So this is the dashboard. When we come in, as I said, the tool's used by both investors, sourcing clients, and agents. The good thing is it's got a lot of features. However, we don't need you to be a registered estate agent or a registered sourcer to be starting to use some of those features. The tool is open for anybody and everybody to use, so you can easily pick between the right plan for you. There are a number of plans, which can get confusing sometimes. But if you are one of those people who are struggling to figure out which one is the right plan for me, we will be covering that towards the end of the session. Just put in the message, and then I'll make sure I can cover that aspect. If you're happy with everything, then that's absolutely fine. It would save us some time. All right, let's get cracking. So the platform has a number of tools in here. Within the platform, what you can do is you can identify areas where you should be investing. So if you want to look at hotspots, where can you find the best yield, highest yield, etc. Where are the cheapest properties? What are the property prices, etc. In general. So heat maps is a good place for you to start. You can simply come in here, and you've got a number of different types of heat maps. Whether you're looking at highest yielding properties, so let's just look at how you can identify hotspots. And what this does is it gives you an interactive map where you can see where the darker the color, the better it is in this case, because it's actually the highest yield. So you can actually filter on the map if you wanted to, or if you want to drill down and say, this is my area, I want to understand how much money I'm going to likely to make. So this is for you to look at if you're looking at, okay, where in the UK I would like to invest, and if you're not stuck with, I only want to invest 5 miles from my place kind of thing. But if you want to uncover areas which nobody else is jumping in, or are not saturated, this is a great way to do it. Or if you don't like maps, this is a simple table for you to get started. I mean, you don't have to start here, but this is, I quite like it. A lot of people who basically are always, they think they know their areas, they realize actually there are so many other places which could be really, really more beneficial to target. And that could be a great way to look at. You can do filtering over here, you can do sorting here, but I'm not going to go through all of this. The good thing is this part is actually free. So you can come onto this area and start using it at any given time. Again, I'm just going to chuck the link into the chat. So if I just pick the top areas, just randomly, let's just start with Hartlepool. So what you can do is you can click on that, and it allows you to directly jump into the deal finder area. Right. So, I mean, you could go to Deal Finder in a different way as well. But if you want to look at, well, okay, which are the areas where there are highest opportunities, with one click, you jump straight into the Deal Finder. This is where a lot of our customers spend a lot of time. And I know, Patricia, you've been maybe checking it out, and Teresa, I know you said you recently joined. So if you basically come in here, what this gives you is we almost kind of got AI filters in here. So rather than you having to figure out, oh, I want to look at BRRR opportunities, I want to look at auctions, or I want to look at cash deals, short lease, all these strategies which you are taught and you keep hearing all the buzzwords on YouTube videos, on training sessions, on wherever. It's kind of, you don't want to be going and having to do it the traditional way, how people go on Rightmoves and Zooplars, and then there are on an average about 10 to 15,000 new listings that are listed every single day. So at a given time, you could be looking through between 500,000 to a million listings on those portals. I mean, good luck with trying to find and going through every single property to identify the best opportunities. Or you could be doing the smart things, which I guess while you're sat in this webinar, you're already thinking about it. So we've basically reverse engineered the whole thing. So we do all the heavy lifting, so you don't have to be going through that. So what you do is simply come in here and say, actually, I'm looking at biggest bargain. So for instance, right now where we are in is actually a search which is using the sourcing strategy of biggest bargains. Hopefully my screen resolution isn't too bad. Yeah, so you can actually see there are, so I've selected biggest bargains in Hartlepool, and then I haven't specified any minimum maximum pricing. So I personally always like to go without worrying about the filters, because you can always narrow it down later, or you can even sort on this page so you don't have to worry about price and stuff later, so you don't want to miss out any deals. And what you can do is, so for instance, this will show you all the matching results, or like further away sort of results. And this is actually showing me all of this stock. So if you see, there are price reductions on a number of these properties, and this is also giving you an approximate yield for all of these properties. So it's quite decent numbers. I mean, obviously we came to a place where there are high yielding properties as we came from the heat maps. So if you see some of these deals, if I sort it, they are going crazy, like 40% reduction from listed price, 31%. And these could be a great opportunities or way of thinking of it as like somebody listed the property, it's with one of these agents. However, if you think about the seller, they obviously won't be very happy. If it was your property, they said we're going to sell it for whatever 150,000, and then they had to reduce it by 30%, 50%, 40%. Not, I think no points for guessing that you won't necessarily be very happy with that agent, and that can be a great way to identifying somebody where you can actually make a contact with the vendor and say, actually, you know what, I like this property, and I'd like to secure it off you. Can I solve a problem for you? Because a lot of times you would go to these courses, they'll say, do this, do that, but they don't really tell you the secrets of how you could do it. And I think with PDI, there's a lot of advanced features, and some of these things may sound a little bit double Dutch to people who are a little bit new to it. And if that is the case, I'm happy to slow down and explain, but I'm hoping everybody understand some of these strategies. But if not, feel free to ping a message, and I'm happy to address and clarify that. So what you see here is the deal results, but this is just a high level overview. If you like any of these, you can actually open it up. So let's just say maybe randomly pick this one up, and then let's also open one of the others, just this one. right? So what this does is it actually opens up and it performs a full cash flow analysis for those properties. So it opens up in a new window just in case you're using it on platform. Make sure your pop-ups are enabled. So what this has done is actually showing this property. It shows a bit of intro for what the property is about, and it shows you the details. And what this tool also does is it actually automatically calculates things for you. So people keep saying, oh, we want to look at how do I stack the numbers, and they make a big fuss about it. You don't need to be a statistician, and you don't need to understand all of these things, right? In today's day and age, you need to have the right tool which can actually do it for you. So ultimately, within PDI, you can have all of this done for you. So that our tool automatically pre-calculates all of these things, and it plugs in all the data which we hold. So as a company, we are one of the most comprehensive data sources of property data in the country, which allows us to give you the comprehensive information. So what you're seeing here is automatically calculating the cash flow analysis, and it automatically factors in the local rent. It looks at the interest rate, so you can actually change it. So it looks these days the interest rates have gone down. So if you change that, it automatically changed everything. So gone are the days when you're having to stack the deal for a client, and somebody said, actually, what if the rents are not paid on time? What if the interest rate go up? And what about repayment mortgages? What about stamp duty, high rate, low rate? So all of this, you simply press one button, and it recalculates everything for you instantly. Right. So if you are to share it with any of your partners, somebody joint ventures, trying to raise money from other people, etc., you want it to come across professionally. And when you're sharing it with others, that's kind of where you say, actually, I've got this deal. I want you to fund it. I'm going to make you X money, etc., And this is because I've looked at this deal and I've done my analysis. And I mean, it also has all these features like property management. If you're self-managing it, you can put that 0 here, and it will automatically show how much you're basically going to be generating in cash flow. And it basically factors in void period, so you can change that as well. And it is also showing you down payment, etc. So if you're buying for cash, you can basically put everything as 100% or low or high. But the bottom line is it actually changes things for you instantly, and you can recalculate everything for your clients. Another thing is the person might be listing it at 65,000, and this property we were looking at, they've reduced a lot, right? So you could be making a lower offer. Let's say, just to say, if you manage to get this property at 55,000, and then you can actually automatically see your ROI and cash flow is going up. So the reason I'm putting a little bit more time on this one is because this applies to any deal analysis you do on our platform, and we've got this cash flow analysis built into the tool everywhere. So whenever or anything you come across, whether you found it somewhere else or whether you've actually got that property on our platform, within one click, you can actually generate this analysis, and you can share it with people as well. So typically when you find the properties on portals, and we actually link this back where it is from a portal, so you can actually see the listing detail here and all of the other stuff which you wanted to. You can actually get that. However, what you don't get from people is they don't tell you which property it is, right? So they don't want to tell you the door numbers. I mean, you could obviously do all the tricks which I told you and say, look at the bins and try and look for all of those kind of things where you're actually trying to zoom in into the pictures and do that for 10,000 properties. And then no wonder people can't manage to find deals in time. And by the time you find it, it's already gone, sort of thing. Or you can actually just, this magic button here, you can just simply click that and it says reveal full address, and boom, you've actually got the full address of that property. And basically that allows you to get in touch, whether you want to knock the door, like send a letter to them, etc. That is all like down to you how you want to operate. And if you want to identify what the right value of this property is, you can actually go in here. But I'm going to open the evaluation report from another place that you can see. I think some customers want to share it with their co-investors or JV partners, or even acting as a sourcer. You might want to say, actually, I've got a deal. Anybody is interested? What you don't want is that you don't want to be giving them free advertisement over there, right? Instead, if you come in here and you say, I want to create a personally branded PDF for that, you could come in here, use your custom branding. I think, Patricia, you got to pay special attention on this one. We were talking about this. So you can come in here and actually add any specific like title of that thing if you wanted to add, or if you also wanted to customize a description, like add things like sourcing fee apply kind of thing, whatever. Let's just call it $5,000, which is typically going right, dollars. Right, all right. And then you can actually download the PDF. So what this does is it actually utilizes the branding from your profile. And I personally, actually, my profile is used for all sorts of demos. Hopefully it doesn't come up with some funny colors. But what it can do is you can actually create a white label PDF report, and you can have your own colors, your own branding, so people don't know where you found this secret deal from. So this has actually just been created, and it would actually create the deal as in, I mean, in my case, I've just got a dummy logo here, so you can actually see that. You can customize what it says in here. And over here, now it's going to be your branding. It's not going to have anybody else's branding, so you're not making money for other people. And there will be a reserve now button, which people people can click and actually get in touch directly with you. So you can show all the good numbers and everything, get people excited, and they want to come to you. And I think Denise, you were talking about finding investors and everybody, right? So showing them what they want to see is kind of one of the biggest things in terms of you can keep looking for investors, but ultimately if you don't have something to show them and something for offer, then people are not that interested. So this kind of gives you, rather than having to put together and learn it in 12 months, you can basically do this from day one. And obviously as you go along in your journey, you can keep basically learning more and more of that. There's all of the analysis we were looking at is printed off nicely, and it's also got the things of insights from trusted data sources, etc. So this is kind of super easy for you to create. I mean, in my case, this is obviously my profile, but you can change it to your own company website. If you haven't got a website, then yeah, so you can obviously put another link. But we've recently last session we had somebody contact us saying actually we'd love all of this, but we don't have a professional website, and our guys knocked it together for you where they'll show what they've done. But this is something very easy. You can either share it as a link as well. So if you wanted to share it on WhatsApps and stuff, so you don't even have to go and find customers, you can simply create this link and you can simply just click on WhatsApp, and automatically everybody's these days is on WhatsApp groups, etc. You can simply just chuck that. I've just chucked that into the chat, and it automatically gets people looking at that. And you would be then clicking the reserve now button, getting in touch with the vendor. Well, sorry, when I say vendor, it's actually the sourcer, which will be you in this case. So you can get all these incoming interest. So you don't have to be looking for properties. You can talk to somebody saying, actually, I'm looking for this. You say, fine, let me send you 10 properties, which I know in that area. And you come across as a professional, and people are now wanting to do business with you. So that's a great way to do it. Obviously, if you don't want to source it for others and you just want it for yourself, brilliant. You can simply use it, and you can automatically get in touch with these vendors directly. So if I just come back to the deal finder, there are a number of different ways of how you could do it. One of the things basically you can do is if you look at this D2V flag, this is your friend, this is your direct to vendor opportunity. So if you want to get in touch with all of these people and say, actually, you know what, all of these guys are struggling, they are in a nice area and they have been reducing prices like anything. What if I get in touch with them and say, you know what, I'll buy your house, I can help you with, I mean, some of you guys might be looking for cash deals. Some of you might actually say, I'm going to give you a 10% discounted offer, 20% discounted offer, but I'll take it off you quickly. Or you might have other investors who might be interested, etc. So this is a great way for you to secure this deal. Even if it's just a case of saying you've tried the agents, they have not been able to do what you would have thought. Why don't you go with me? I'm going to help you find a buyer, etc. So that is a great way of doing it. But the challenge is, how do I keep going knocking around the doors? And even if I now have an address, which is great, now I have to be walking all around the places, and these properties may or may not necessarily be near each other. So our customers are professional customers. So what they do is, out of these 74 results, we got 64 vendor addresses within these results. Or there will be one or two which may not have it, but you will basically be able to get in touch with 64 of these vendors with one click. So all you do is come in here, select, I mean, you can do bulk, or if you want to send 5, 10, 20 letters, etc., you could just come in here and click this one button. And what that does is it extracts all of these lists, goes through, I mean, again, it's heavy, I don't want to go through technical stuff, but it basically is your magic wand where behind the scene, it's getting all of the addresses and putting it nicely into our AI-powered direct mailing tool, which essentially creates these branded letters for you. Whether you want to then get rid of something or you want to add any others, you might have your own list. Let's say just you've got a list of a 500 or 1,000 or a 10 or 20, whatever numbers there are. You can simply import the data as well. Or you can come in here, it would automatically take the details from my profile, and it will take it to the lead magnet nicely, and it will have your color. So if your colors are orange and pink or whatever, you can come in here and you can change it, and it will automatically generate branded letters for you. And you can add your own logo. You have these nicely formatted letters. You can pick any of the designs you like. My personal one is this one. And if you can't think of what I should say to these vendors, don't worry. So there are some pre-existing templates where you can say some of these tried and tested formats which other companies, landlords or sources use it, or even estate agents. I think, Teresa, you might kind of recognize some of these ones where your past experience. So whether you're looking to give them free valuations, giving them a cash offer, if you do rent-to-rents, anybody does rent-to-rent stuff, that's a great opportunity as well. So you can actually target landlords through our thing, whether you want to look at winning second instructions. So it works for all of them. So you can actually pick any of these. I think somebody was saying lease options. That was Denise, right? So you could actually look at some of these templates. Let's just put the cash offer one, and you select it. So it automatically generates a nice looking letter, and you can change the colors and everything like I just showed you. It would automatically come in here. These letters are going to be like, whether you're going after one person or 500 people or 1,000 people, that would be automatically done. So what you see here, and sometimes this can be confusing for customers, is you only see the first address. Don't worry, it would be automatically sent to different people. It's not going to send the same address to everybody, right? So the system automatically takes those 64 addresses which we just selected, and it would create different letters for you with the QR code embedded into it, which will be your personal lead magnet. So it works for you 24/7. and automatically the PDI lead magnet captures the leads for you and gives them instant valuations and stuff. I'm going to show that in a second, but you can actually either have a heading or not. Or if you don't like the wording and you want to personalize it, this is where you can just go and edit it and do anything. Obviously, ChatGPT is there nowadays. You can always use it to actually create your own versions of these templates. You can do. But if I did select it, all I had to do was simply come in here, and you can actually send these kind of branded letters. So they are all done for you. You do nothing apart from just making this save and pay button, and that's it. The letters are delivered on your behalf to every door. So you don't have to go with leafletting, going in 10,000 leaflets in an area and 5 people will come back to you, because then it becomes a very expensive exercise. When you're doing targeted like outreach with PDI, that becomes really super effective. So you could do it in this manner, or you could actually use one of the other features, which I'm going to show you in a second. But yeah, this is basically all you have to do. Then you, as soon as you pay, the letters are sent out and they are delivered, and ultimately you start getting incoming leads coming from your customers. So I'm gonna try and quickly fast track things, because I think there's quite a lot, and I'm not sure if people find this bit interesting or if there's anything else which I haven't missed. I think I wanted to cover like different types of strategies on motivated vendors, etc. But if you come in within Deal Finder, there are other strategies. So we looked at the bargains or price reductions. You can look for BRRs. I think BRRs, Denise, I think you mentioned that. So you can come in here and just with one click identify all BRR opportunities all over wherever you kind of want to look at it within your area. If you're looking at short leads, if you're looking at HMOs, I think was it Teresa you mentioned HMOs? So you can actually come in and target HMOs here. You're looking for repossessions, chain free, a whole sorts of like different features. And if you've actually found something on Rightmove or Zoopla, simply just put the URL here, press submit, boom, it's going to do the full deal analysis for you as we saw earlier. So you can, if somebody says, oh, I've got a cracking deal, have a look at this, etc., come in here, boom, press the submit button, and it will find all of that stuff for you. All right. How do you create a lead magnet URL? Okay, that's a good question. I hope someone wants to know that, because that's a really good way to get customers. You can have all the tools in the world, but if you don't have somebody coming into your website, it's not good. So I'm going to come back to motivated vendors and how do we find like a direct to vendor deals in bulk in a second, because that's also using the same feature. But if you click on the My Account area, right over here, there are oh, I forgot about the AI alerts as well. Actually, we should have helped you set that up, but also the lead magnet. So over here, you've got Get Lead Magnet. You come in here and you just fill in your details. These are company details, your phone number, where do you want people to contact you? This is your email address, and it will show you like a preview of your lead magnet, right? Come in here, choose the logo, and it set it up. You can change the colors and everything. So basically, if you see, you can actually see how this looks. I'm just going to make it look a bit horrible. Yeah, so you can actually do that. And then you can also change if you don't want to give people like let's just say instant valuation. You can even say get your cash offer. That is generally used by a lot of our clients who are sourcing deals or and ready for in-house. So you can actually change and customize these things. And if you simply press submit, you can create your lead magnet URL here. So because I've already created it, there was just a button here. All you had to do was save it, and then it creates it for you. And you can also just create a QR code for your lead magnet here. And then you can download it, and we also suggest our customers to use it in their what is it called, their websites, in their branding, in brochures. If you've got a shop, etc., put it in. People passing by, they scan it. It's a really useful thing, because that's like 24/7 working for you, and people will end up either here. So you can actually bring customers here. So like I said, I just change it, and in 1 second it automatically changed the colors and everything. If I might take this opportunity to help, what we did for one of the clients who actually just pinged us last time when we did the webinar last month. So it's Anglia Home. I'm not sure if Jeremy's joined us today. Can't see the participant list. So actually, they came to us and said, actually, we don't have a website, but we love what you were saying. We want the lead magnet. They got plenty of experience in this. I mean, a bit like what Teresa mentioned, but they just didn't have a website. They wanted the lead magnet. They wanted a system to be set up for them. So we basically did a bespoke service stuff for them. So this whole website was knocked together by the team in the last couple of weeks, actually, or less than that. So they completely from start to finish. We helped their team to actually create these, and they've got this lead magnet sitting within the website. So you can obviously give the URL if you don't have a website, but if you want to embed that into your website, that could be done with one click as well. And if you don't have a website, you can get in touch with us, and this is like a really nice way to actually start bringing people in, and it looks professional, and you can add all of your stuff. So our team's kind of able to help it. I mean, this is powered by Property Deals Insight, and they even added their recent projects and stuff where they did a lot of these acquisitions, because you could say a lot of things. However, if your website it doesn't say all these things, it's not professional. Sometimes it's a bit tricky. And what they do is they've actually got this nice button on their website, how much is your property worth, and you've got the lead magnet, which is again embedded here, and the QR code, which I was talking about, you can have that QR code now converting for you all the time. So the QR code brings people into their website, and ultimately it works like a charm. So yeah, if anyone's interested in that, let me know. But ping us a message or in the chat as well. Feel free to do that. Where was I? Yeah, so I was actually just showing within the lead magnet, you can actually come in here, and if you already have a website, simply go in here and click add to website. And this is just a copy paste job. So copy that and paste it into your website, and it will be live in your website in no time. So it's no rocket science involved here. It's a simple thing. I know if you're not technical, it can appear a bit scary. However, believe me, it's not. It's easy. So, and we are happy to help you guys. I think one of the offer for this webinar was if anybody was to join us, they would get a one-to-one sort of conversation with our team or self where we can help get it set up for you. Right. Let's jump to AI deal alerts. Yes, Moin, that is precisely that was about WordPress website which you were looking at, and you can do that in a second. And there is actually step-by-step guide on how to do that in a WordPress website as well. Right. So yeah, you can simply go into WordPress and then add to website, and literally like I said, it's a fairly quick job. Okay. Yeah, so you can actually, I'm gonna do this where you can actually come into the tutorials area. So there's a tutorials area over here. And over here, there's actually step-by-step guide on creating all the resources. So what I'm going to give you is the link, and this is for everybody, for tutorials. So you can actually understand how to use Deal Finder or rent-to-rent or deal packs or everything else which we just talked about. So there are tutorials for each of these things, and you can actually use this with a step-by-step guide on how to actually create that. I think lease options was also mentioned, so you can also see what all filters you can use to actually find lease option deals. I think conscious of time, I just want to quickly jump to helping you find motivated vendors, which is generally, sorry, closed the button. Anyways, I think I can jump from here on market prospects. Right, so this is a really, really powerful tool. And if you've been an agent or a letting agent or like an estate agent before, you would understand some of this. This is the tools. This was actually originally built for estate agents only. And we power close to 1,000 agencies all over the country who utilize our prospecting data. And I think we did some like-for-like comparison with some of the biggest players in the country, and we came out beating them massively. So we realized that we're actually now way better than anybody out there in the entire country in terms of prospecting and market intelligence. So you guys get the benefit of all of that by coming in here. If anybody wants to identify motivated vendors in their area or any new vendors in their area, landlords, vendors, I'm happy to find for you. So if you want to help get set up with the alerts for you in your area, give me some outcodes in the chat, and then we can utilize them for finding stuff for you.
S10. Oh, in the chat, sorry.
Well, yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, that's fine whether in chat or not, because not everybody's on off mute. Anybody else wants to find any deals anywhere else? You can actually add multiple over here.
S7.
Okay, cool. Right. All right, I think, Patricia, you get the benefit of speaking while others are thinking. So if anybody else wants to put in, I know Moin, you can't talk, but if you want to share anything, you can actually share. But you can put in multiple outcomes. So one of the things I wanted to show is you can actually add more content in here. And if nobody else is willing, I'll just put something. Let's just put
Nathan,
in.
Could you try MK as well, like any MK postcode, 310?
Yes. Okay, MK3, MK10. Right, we can try a few of them actually. Okay. I don't know, whatever. So yeah, you can basically put in a few over here, and
Can I just ask what the maximum is, please?
Well, at the moment you can put a few, but the thing is, depends on who you are. If you are looking to go after tens of thousands of people or thousands of people, then you use more. Otherwise, obviously, just filter based on what is the right thing for you, because we have over 2 million such properties on our platform, so you don't want to be kind of getting buried under it. So you can always filter it out, but you can set it up. So for instance, if we use this and let's just say set a daily alert for you, so this is coming to you every day, that might be like you can create one or more alerts for you. At the moment, the deal alert feature is free, and you can set as many as you like, but in future it might get restricted, but right now you can really benefit from it massively. So you can put in any number of outcodes, and we don't restrict. A lot of companies who offer prospecting, they'll say buy postcode MK3 from me, and then you have to pay extra for MK10, or they might give you 2 or 3 outcodes, and then the next time you want to go for MK5, then say actually give me more money. That's not how we do it. We just give you everything. You have access to the entire UK areas, and you can specify anything over there. So what you find in the other filters is, I mean, while that happens, I'll just quickly search for this. So what you actually have in some of the other filters, hopefully you can still see, is you can target people who have reduced prices, and this is really super interesting for sourcer kind of clients, or I mean, everybody actually wants this. So if you want to look at off-market stock, which is not available anywhere, but only you know about it, so this is like your secret sauce. So this is quite handy, and we're going to just do a quick search on that. But while I do that, so we just did this, 5 out codes, and this actually came back with 1,885 results. So by default, it would only show the first 100, but if you want to load more, you can just click the load more button, and it will basically show you all the other results as well. Right, so this is actually showing you full addresses of all of these properties. I didn't select any filters, so all I'm saying is within the last 180 days, show me everything. But what you would do is say, I'm looking for people who are struggling, as in reducing prices, or have failed to sell, or have failed to rent. So if somebody's looking for rent to rent, I don't know if anybody has mentioned that. Usually that's one of the most favorite topics for everybody. So if they are looking at rent to rent, etc., then you can use this as well. So whether you're looking to go after people who've just come on the market as an agent, or you might be saying, actually, I'm going to go after people who are more likely to do business with me, or how do I actually get in touch with them? So you can use it in any way. So if, like you see, this has got all the latest stock as well. But if you equally wanted to say, I'm looking at price reduced stock and stock which has failed to sell in the last 1 year. So these are all the vendors which came to the market, got whatever they tried, they couldn't sell it, right? So there are all these, I mean, the filtering, so now you've got about 233 such properties where they came to the market, were listed for a while, were with these agencies, etc., and they just couldn't sell it. And that's always a great opportunity where somebody's like motivated to sort of, and is quite likely to listen to you. So you always have to look at indicators. If you go after somebody who's only come to the market yesterday and say, actually, I want to buy your house, but I'll offer you 20% less, I think the answer is pretty obvious. They're going to say, don't talk to us in future. But at the same time, if you go after somebody saying, you've tried everything, you've been really annoyed with this agent and that agent, and you're trying to be like, okay, fine, I could be somebody who's solving a problem for you. I've got this investor who's going to take your property without actually having to go on the market again. That is a great pitch for you and a great opportunity to do it at the right time. And what you can do is, again, as we did in the earlier cases, you can select which ones you want to go after or not, or you can simply press this magic button, and it again fires off the direct to vendor letters sending stuff, which we just saw earlier. So you could do it. And if you actually wanted to go after thousands, I mean, I think your question was how many you can do. You can find tens of thousands of records here, depending on your filtering criteria and the what all you want to go after. And you could basically, by one click, reach out to thousands of people like within a few seconds. Really, you don't have to be sending these letters. You're not going to be printing paper, folding it, putting it in envelopes, writing addresses, going to the post. Nothing. All of this is done on your behalf by us. And now this is, sometimes we come to these webinars and they say, actually, I don't remember how Nitin did it, and people keep on calling me, I just forgot, I never got around it. So this is your opportunity. This little thing in the corner, these are your AI powered alerts, and some of you guys may have received some alert email based on your preferences. You can always change the frequency, etc. But if we want to set this up, I think it's a combination of what Teresa wanted or Patricia wanted, but I'm gonna leave it like that. What you can do is you can give a quick name. So these are off-market. Yeah, these are actually off-market motivated vendors in MK1, MK area, or and whatever name you want to give. By the way, this is just a name. It sits with you. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's just your personal name. So I'm giving it, and I can say I want every day to know about this, every week, monthly, or you can specify whatever custom frequency. So let's just call it, I want to know about this every day, right? And simply press yes, enable alerts. Boom, job done. And if you click on this in your My Account area, it goes and sets up all these alerts here. So I've just jumped from that screen to My Alert. So I'll just tell you how you get there. If you go in here, My Account, you will see AI deal alerts. And over here, these are all the deal finder alerts we were looking at, BRRs, repossessions. So in My Account, I've got all of these different criteria set up. And you can save this, use it as your bookmarks, or you can actually also look at what we just set up just now. And if with one click, so next time you come in here, you don't have to go anywhere. You simply come in here, click this button, and boom, it's actually going to be there for you, right? So if I give you this link in the chat, everybody, you could simply click on it, and it will automatically bring you here, and the results will be there. So essentially, that's how the deal alerts will work. So they will send you an email whenever you like, based on your frequency, and you automatically can see all the results which we are seeing on this screen. When you get it, you can get rid of MKs if you're not interested in the MKs, Patricia, and similarly, Teresa, if you don't want the S10s and 7s, you can get rid of them. And you can add any criteria as you wanted to, and then press the search button and then save it as the alert as we just did. And that would basically start coming to you without fail. You can just enjoy your holidays and you can be doing your day job. And every once in a while, you get this. And anything which you like, in the emails, you also get an option to simply, by one click, send the letters. I don't know if some of you may have seen some of these emails flow, and if you think it's a bit too much for you, you can always go to the My Account area, change the frequency, disable alerts. Don't delete it because then you're losing the searches. It's always good to disable it because you can use it as a bookmark, and it will actually come a bit like this if you ignore that. So you would have these alerts coming in. You would have these many alerts in these are my rent to rent alerts if people like. So this is actually when I just did it, and you'll have these two buttons in this. If you want to just see them, you can click this button. But if you want to also start sending smart letters using one click, then what this does is it opens it up for me, fetches all of the results which match my criteria, which I'd previously set up, and it will then start sending them letters on my behalf. So because my profile is automatically set up, I can simply come in here, next, next, next. I know this one. I know I'm going to give them a cash offer. I select the template. I am not bothered about the header, and I press the confirm button. So from getting that email to coming in here, it's what, 3-4 clicks. And that's how easy you can make your life. So you don't have any excuses for, I haven't had the time to actually do this. So this is where you are creating. And if you think about when people are receiving your letters, they are going to have these nice looking QR codes within it, and which will bring you back. So for instance, what we did for Anglia Property Solutions, they're going to be firing these letters all over to their clients, and people come into this nice looking website with this lead magnet, and the reason we have the lead magnet QR code in it is because people don't want to give you their details for free, right? They want some sort of curiosity and say, actually check what your home is worth now, kind of thing. And they might be doing it in the middle of the night when they're back from office, or even actually sat in meeting rooms within offices pretending to be working, which is what a lot of people do these days with work from home and stuff. You could be doing that alongside working, and you might be checking their website and saying, actually, what is my home worth? Sometimes they convert straight away, sometimes they may not. And as soon as these ones will be filling the forms, you will get a professional valuation alert in your inbox, which will be like a lead coming in through that. So we were actually testing it out for this client which we're talking about. So you get like a new valuation lead has come in. This is the customer details because it was just us trying to validate it. So it would be our details, and this is the property they valued. You show them what you showed the customer. So this is the letters going on your behalf to these leads which you've reached out. You don't have to be doing a single thing, but press 4 buttons, and these now leads who have actually already filtered through your lead magnet and everything is going to come into you. So it's almost like a full-blown enterprise grade setup you can have just by having our PDI subscription and utilizing it in the right way. You can come in every once in a while, tweak your deal alerts, feature filters, etc., etc. But other than that, the only problem typically our customers have is they get too many deals and they end up like, what do we do with it? And this is what I mentioned earlier, where a lot of our investor clients end up becoming sources because they think, actually, you know what, I've got all these deals. Why should I waste it? I will charge other people or co-source with them, etc., etc. And they basically help with that. So I think we are a bit over time. I'm going to jump quickly to the plans and pricing, etc. Now I would open up the floor as well if you guys have any questions. I know some of you have been asking as we go along, but feel free to fire away any questions, things which we haven't answered, anything which I have confused you guys with. So that would be a good time for you to go off mute and basically fire any questions you have.
Is the motivated seller one only available on the higher packages?
Well, the motivated vendors is basically part of, it's like I said, it's a tool for estate agents, really. It was something which we built for them, but I just didn't want it to be only available to estate agents. So a lot of our customers actually use it. It's usually actually billed at £200 a month for the premium plan. And then the gold is $149 per month. However, right now there's a crazy offer going on, which is 50% off if you go annual billing. So if you click on billing annually, you can actually get the motivated vendor in both gold and premium. So you're really only paying $62.42 to be able to actually access what all we showed. So everything which we showed today, this plan will cover all of that. And normally this is $149 per month for I think where are we, May? Yeah, so I think some days are left for this to end up, and then it will go back to the normal price, which is $1,500 a month. Sorry, an annual price. Still pretty good value. You get the lead magnet, you get the valuation reports, you get deal finder, you get everything the platform offers included in this package. I mean, if you want unlimited number of credits, you can always go to the premium one. And the other additional thing is you get 1-to-1 sessions a month within the premium plan. But if you want like once a quarter kind of thing, then you can go for the gold plan. And obviously, you can still use the chat feature and any email support, etc. We always happy to help. But if you want us to help out and help us set up, etc., etc., those things which we actually do in the gold like a premium plan. Right.
Nitin, can you see like properties that are not actually on Rightmove or listed online at all? I think
You
mentioned
know
this
the link I
earlier.
showed you, the link I
Yeah.
shared you in the chat, none of them
Yeah.
are on any of the portals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are stock which came, but never managed to do anything. You can't find them on any of the portals anymore, but you can over here. So only you are actually the one going after those vendors. This is why this is super efficient. Like all the fail to sell stock, this is stock which I mean, obviously there's another one which we have, which is you go after every single one, right? So you might be aware of the 2020 thing where you go after, give us any postcode and go 20 houses on the left, 20 houses on the right, like the agents used to do in the past. You can do that with us if you wanted to go after every single house in a certain area, but it's then blanket drops, and there are use cases which work for that. However, if you're only targeting a set number, I mean a few hundred or a few thousand, then you can use a motivated vendor feature to go after people who either are on market, or if you want to say, actually, I'm only going after people who no one else can find, then use the filters. And that's why I gave you that link, which is super, super powerful. That link, even if you are not doing anything with it today, just bookmark it and save it and create an alert for you so you keep seeing it, and you can tweak the alert whenever you want and change it to your own filters.
Yeah, no, it's just I just wanted to see like a particular property that one of my clients has offered us, and
Sure.
just to see, like the deal assessment.
Oh yeah, so that you can do for 30 million every single property. So that we never managed to cover this. So this is a super powerful part where I want to go assess any home. You can come in, doesn't matter whether it's ever been on market or not. You come in here, you get a full-blown valuation report, comparable, recent sold, local, what's on the market, EPC information, cash flow information, and everything. So you can, I'm just going to quickly show the samples which are here, but you can come in here and start doing that, start putting any addresses. It doesn't have to be or anywhere. So they may never have gone onto market ever. So you can come in and do that analysis for you. And this will print off a report like this, where you can either co-brand with us or just do white labeled version. And this is something where you can add street view now. So we've recently done a new release actually. So now you can add street views and stuff on that. And this will give you the valuation of that property, price per meter square. So this is our own proprietary algorithm, and our accuracy is way, way better than some of the biggest players in the country. And some of them have approached us saying, we would like to use your valuation under our like banner. And we've kind of said no. Well, basically, but that kind of gets to show you what they think about our valuations. And it's connected to land registry, it's connected to Ministry of Housing. So this is showing you all of the stock which is on the market, and shows you price trends, etc. You can do the rental comparisons as well, same thing for every property you can see. And this is showing you land registry information combined with Ministry of Housing, EPC information. So you can also use this. I really like this bit, because a lot of times people go on market and say, actually, the other house is on the market for 650, why is mine 475, or mine is 800k, how do I negotiate better, kind of thing. This is really powerful because it also shows you prices and internal areas. So if you see there are multiple properties, and sometimes people just get bogged down and saying, actually, that one is 425, so this should also be 425. But it's really, really useful to negotiate better, and even fighting with a lot of surveyor valuations. A lot of our customers kind of use this and fight them off as well. It shows you the energy efficiency ratings, current rating, potential rating, and shows you the cash flow analysis that we saw earlier. And if you want to also do flips and stuff, then it also has a flip analysis calculator which you can actually embed in as well. So you can do that for every single property, and the same report in a PDF format looks like this. So this is something you can actually generate it and share it with your clients, and with your own branding and everything as well. So this is a super, super powerful feature, and something which is integrated with CRMs, which our estate agents are using, portals are using it in a number of cases, and other prop techs as well are using it from API integration with us. But for you can just come in here, put in the postcode, and start searching for any address at all, every address in the UK.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that is like something, I guess, I mean, it's like I said, it's so powerful that I haven't managed to cover everything, but you can even list your stock, create deal packs and everything if you wanted to do it through the platform for any stock you want to list with us. And if you want to share that with our investors and you want that to be appearing in Deal Finder, that's also something you can do. You can create your own deal packs and all of that stuff. So again, maybe topic for another day, but again, it's available in the tutorials. However, you can also create development GDVs and stuff on the platform. So there's so much it's in there. I don't want to scare people off with what all is available, but it pretty much truly covers everything which you can think of from entire property journey perspective, and there's a lot more which we keep doing as bespoke sourcing services for some of our clients, whether they're looking for a done for you service, which our team handles for some of our clients as well. Right. Yeah, I think
one thing I'd be interested in would be the website design. Are you able to drop us a link, please, or an email at all?
I think so the easiest thing would be to just fire us an email. I'll give you an email address.
Thank you.
Right, and I'm just also gonna 3922. Yeah, so if you get in touch, ideally an email, because sometimes the team's busy, or just give us a ring. That would be the best way of getting in touch. And it's been a super busy period for us, so don't worry if we don't get back immediately. But I think that's something which we can easily knock it together for you guys. We got a really efficient tech team behind the scenes. But if you want to look at help out with identifying assets and all of that stuff, I guess the platform does mostly everything. However, we also do commercial and other things which is not through the platform. Where that is something which we do offline. But I think we've possibly covered far too much. Anyways, people sometimes complain that you guys do so much that we never understand where to start. Okay, I think Moin, I don't know whether you've managed to get your audio sorted, maybe not. But yeah, I think anybody else, Patricia, Denise, and Mr. Shah, if you guys want to ask anything, I think sorry, I just saw where can I see visitor stats? What's the visitor stats for? I don't know what that one is for. Can partner with estate agents. Them. Actually, there is an affiliate option as well. So people who want for it to pay for itself, if you have a network and you work in different groups, you can actually just become an affiliate and come in here, simply create your own referral link. You can actually generate that and with one click start sharing it, and you will be able to see the progress of people who've basically come through and how much money you've earned, and basically make a pretty decent income stream. Sorry, I don't want to be sharing customer details with you guys, but ultimately you can actually do that through the platform. And if you have like a network or a website or a blog or a podcast, etc., etc. However, I know a lot of people go to the pin meetings, etc. So some of them who are actually talking about us might be our affiliates as well. So they basically earn a good income from that, and you might want to be benefiting from it as well. And a trick we've sometimes told our customers is, the link I gave you for getting off market deals in a certain area, you could also attach your referral code at the back of it. So people love freebies and they love to find deals. And at the back of it, there is a referral link, which means if they ever sign up in the next 3 months, you get paid. So it's a great kind of incentive or way to make the money alongside. In fact, sometimes people actually make more money that way than the core investments. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think hopefully that's answered your question, Moin. I know you couldn't speak, but if you have any other things, so feel free to give us a buzz or send us an email in the message which we've written in there. And also, like I said earlier, there was a special going on today. So any 3 people, so I think there's not much competition. So anybody who joins in this week or upgrades this week, they'll get a free one-to-one session for us to help you get set up with all of these things, get your lead magnet, etc., configured, make sure your report branding and everything else is correctly configured, and even help you with any other questions you might have, even if you wanted to think of how you can leverage it for your own business. So those things, you get like an hour session basically, which is usually only limited or paid session. So yeah. All right. I think I would like to thank everybody for joining today. If there is anything which you think of later, just feel free to ping us a message. And I would strongly suggest, if you are thinking about it, to lock the annual pricing, because it's over £1,000, you say, really. So it's a massive saving. And if sometimes people are like, oh, we're not yet ready, sort of thing. So we've done specialties where we've actually frozen the prices, where we say you buy it today and we'll enable it for you when you tell us, kind of thing. So that's something which we've done occasionally. It's not by default, but sometimes we've tried to help people in that way. All right, guys, I really hope this has been useful. I need a glass of water, so I've just been talking for so long. And I thank you guys for giving your time. Feel free to register for the rest of the sessions, because we're always coming up with new features, and it's always useful to keep joining these sessions, because we are never stopping innovating, and we're never coming up with more, always coming up with more features. Thanks everyone for joining, and I'll let you guys crack on.